Hello again everyone. In this video, some ideas will be presented in response to what Google Forms cannot do for us in some parts of our online teaching. Google Forms is one of the best apps for assessment purposes, may it be an assessment of learning or an assessment for learning. Apart from automated marking it offers, forms can be also used in gathering data for later analysis of students, like in questionnaires and surveys. But as teachers, we do not want to see the end product of their works alone, but sometimes we want the process from which they got the result. This is the case of the weakness or limitation of the Google Forms. This is one of the forms I use in the webinar, and this is the one students see. Scrolling down here, the forms offers variety of types or ways on how we can formulate our questions. Alright, you see each item here uses different type of question. The information from the forms will be delivered to us only after our students clicked the submitted button. We can see responses here, but we don't have one yet as this wasn't answered yet when I was doing this video. Let's use one of my previous forms, this one, and you see the information from students are now presented in a way that we can easily understand. In our classes before the school closures, we usually roam around our classroom to check and give assistance to students when necessary, especially during revision or review sessions and drill and practice lessons for knowledge application and mastery. But when online, there is no to little chance of doing this when you are using Google Forms. It is a good thing that we have some apps which we can restructure to cover up this limitation of the Google Forms. Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides have collaboration features. In Google Sheets, cells can be set to restricted access such that only some cells can be edited by students while the rest are locked. Now in Google Docs, we can insert a question in a picture format so students can just edit the space below it. While in Google Slides, we can set the questions as a background and just provide them space to type in their answers. The sharing features allows us to see what they are doing in real time, and there is also this revision history which can provide us ideas of what was done by students in certain times. Jamboard can also provide an alternative for this, especially when you are using Google Meet. I have a video in my channel about Jamboard and Google Meet and some teaching ideas using this app. Let's explore Google Sheets first. We can start by creating a sheet with our questions and assign cells for responses of the students. Then protect the ranges of cells that you do not want any of your students to edit. These are the steps on how to do that. Alright, let me show you. Here I already have a sheet with my questions and some portion where I want them to write their names and date just as examples. They will enter their names here. Okay, let me merge these. Alright, there. And for the dates too. There we go. These parts of the sheet should be open for access to students. Same with these cells for their answers to the questions. Now, time for us to protect the ranges. We do not want our students to edit this range here. After highlighting the cells, right-click if you are using Windows or tap with two fingers when you're using Mac. Select Protect Range and this pane appears. You can name it, then set the permission. Only you should be the one who could edit, so click this. If say you want to restrict access to entire row or rows, like here below the table, click or highlight the row headings. And do the same as before, select Protect Range, name the range if you want, set permission there, and save. For columns, the same idea. Highlight the column headings. Say you want to restrict access from this column till here. Okay, select Protect Range, name the range, set permission, and then save. Now with those preparations we did, these are the only parts of the file that students can edit. Let's see how this would look like to our students. I'll share this to my work email. There. I'll open that from another device. Okay. Alright, there you see. We can see the account viewing the file with us. Colored boxes tell us which part or parts are being accessed by people. They won't be able to edit those cells because of the restrictions we did previously. Alright, as you can see, the access is jumping from one cell to another. They won't be able to edit those cells because of the restriction we did previously. See that green view only note at the lower right corner? Now when the students click those not protected, the view only note is gone, meaning they can edit that part, like typing in their answers or responses while we are seeing in roughly the same time. There's a little lag, but not so significant that this can still qualify as real time, isn't it? Okay, now let's move to the workaround in Google Docs. For Google Docs, there is no restriction that I know like the one we just did with the Google Sheets. However, we can still do the idea by embedding an image where our questions are written. Okay, as an example, I use the idea in this Google Doc itself. Alright, this part here is actually an image. See? And below that, students can be asked to provide their answers. Now for Google Slides, the technique is similar to what we did just now with the Google Docs. Have an image with our question on it. Additional setting is needed for slides though. Use that image as a background. Here are the steps. Let me show you a slide. This is not very different from PowerPoint that I am sure you guys are all familiar with and have used previously. When PowerPoint is usually done individually, Google Slides can be a venue for collaboration because of the sharing option, similar to that of Google Docs and Google Sheets, and other Google apps. We have here a blank slide. Put your question here. Or let's use the one we had in Sheets. Okay, I'll copy this, move back to the slide, then paste, and there's our question. Let me do a little adjustment here. Alright, there you go. To make it look better, you might want to insert some diagrams or pictures. Let's do that. I'll find one in Google. Sea breeze. This one is nice. Let's copy it. In our slides, we paste it. And there, make adjustments. And here it is. Say our question. Now, save this as an image or take a snapshot. You may use the print screen key on your laptop or other options like this. I'll take a snapshot of this part only. And there. Now delete all these. Choose background. Here, this icon. Set the background to that snapshot we just had. And there is our new background with our question. Now here, even I cannot edit it. Let's now create a space for a student's responses. Insert a text box. This, place it here. If you want that box to have border, use this. And pick the size you want. And there we have the box for their answers. Now let's share this again to another account by clicking share. Then type the emails. Here, we pick this one. And then let's wait for them to access this file. We can see students at that same portion of our browser. Their accounts icons will be popping up there, meaning they are ready to do things with the file, with us watching or monitoring in case they need assistance. If you are going to use Google Classroom, this idea is going to be more efficient and convenient for teachers. I'll tell you more about that when we meet later for the third session in this day 2 of our webinar. Okay guys, I'll be back online in a bit. See ya.